Got everything?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Here, honey, an offering for the king.
See you later, Mom.
Listen to your teacher, okay? And, give the king my best.
Dance with an angel, Mom.
Yeah. Maybe we'll tango today instead of waltz.
That's our way of saying goodbye. My husband is an Air Force pilot and refers to fighter planes as angels. When he'd go on a mission that kept him away from home, I'd tell him in frustration to go dance with his angels. Matilda grew up hearing this, and now she uses it all the time. There's a nice view of the King's Bridge from our house. That iron giant is the pride of Grace Maria, our capital city. In the old quarter of the city beyond the bridge, you can make castle, which is even more famous than the bridge. Daughter Matilda is going there on a field trip today. In the throne room rests the Golden King. He's been smiling for a good 600 years now. The king was a gentle person who was a bit on the small side, but he crafted a giant suit of armor that convinced his enemies to surrender without a single fight. Afterwards, they found such warmth in his smile that they bowed down to him in humility. Anyway, his smiling face still touches the hearts of our people. The very face my daughter and the others got on a bus to see. The song on the radio seems to be a perfect match for this. I have no idea what's happening. And the shaking. Was that a blast of wind from an explosion? The castle disappeared behind a pillar of flame.
Attention all pilots. Our capital city is under attack by unknown aircraft. Damage from the attacks is widespread throughout the city. All planes scramble and intercept all threats immediately.
Garuda team, time to take off.
They took out King's Bridge! Who's attacking? What the hell is going on? Control, get those planes up fast! Roger that. Preparing for takeoff. I want a damage assessment now! We've taken extensive damage from those bombers, including a number of civilian casualties! What's going on with the bombers? We can't hold out much longer. What? The orders from above! Bolter, taking off! Yes, cinema. I want every plane
Garuda 1, you are cleared for takeoff.
Don't get overeager. Just do what you always do.
Garuda 1 liftoff. Cerberus team runway clearance granted. Takeoff when ready. All aircraft under
Airborne warning and control system ghost eye to all scrambling defense craft. The situation has not yet been ascertained. We must information. Follow your individual instructions. Garuda 1, you do not have a wingman. Let's see. Shamrock. Shamrock, are you alone too? Very well. As of now, you're Garuda 2.
Okay. So I'm Garuda 2. Garuda 1, I've got your back. No time for introductions now, though. Go ahead and I'll follow your lead. Never was good with directions anyhow.
Garuda Team, you are authorized to engage any hostile aircraft above Grace Maria.
Roger that. May the Golden King smile upon us. Reinforcements, stay alert.
Ghost Eye to Garuda 1 Talisman and Garuda 2 Shamrock. We are currently in a state of emergency. Our nation is under attack by unknown forces. Do it and fend off the...
Garuda 2, roger that. Garuda 1, you call the shots.
I need backup. I need backup.
This is Commander with over the 15th Squadron. The enemy's field of attack. Stay alert. Garuda 1, there's too many of them. Use your SP weapon.
All ships to terminate enemy forces over the zone. Get those anti-aircraft ready for battle.
Focus all anti-aircraft fire on those bombers. Don't let them get any closer.
Israel for an emergency news report. Grace Marion is currently under attack by unidentified aircraft.
After circling over.
The damage apparently extends throughout the entire capital.
Please be safe.
ID on the invaders. We're engaged with the Estovakian military.
The Estovakians? Their economy's been in shambles for years. Looks like they finally snapped.
Your threat level has been reduced. You should be able to hold out against them.
We've almost got them. Let's do this one plane at a time. Looks like the stogies are running out of steam. Had enough, boys? Roger, I'm heading over to engage the enemy. Enemy tanks have made it to the ground and they're coming at us. Prepare to engage. Our runway's being bombed to hell. It's totally useless now.
No, back the other way.
So those bastards think they can barge into someone's house without even calling first. Unbelievable. I say we teach them a few manners before we kick them out. Nice work. Take care of as many of those tanks as you can while they're up. The enemy's destroyed like shit. Finish up, Arrow. The bridge! The bridge is down! Calm down and commit. We can find what we're talking about.
An intense ground war is taking place in the East District. We strongly urge all citizens of Grace Marion to stay indoors at this time.
Further orders.
Cloak and tank company advance. Keep those airborne tanks from moving in.
Garuda Team, watch your necks out there. Stick with close-range targets and run them down.
We're gonna be split
That's what I like to hear.
Stand
Our
your
air force
ground.
is holding down the enemy. Keep it up.
The Estovakian threat level is even lower now. Drive them out of Ameria.
Igon to Strigan team. We are prepared to launch. Strigan leader to Igayan. We will commence mission operations once your delivery is complete. Attention all aircraft. We are ready for Nimbus launch. Begin the countdown. Booster ignition complete. Launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire! Engage the enemy at will following Nimbus impact.
Enemy planes have been spotted on radar. You don't want to know how many.
This is Strigan 12. Target acquired. Moving to engage. Calling all civilian planes. It shall be ours for the taking. Roger.
A large-scale explosion has apparently occurred in midair. No further details as yet. I repeat.
Which direction are the missiles coming from? Right or left?
This is Ghost Eye to all planes. Air Defense Command has ordered an evacuation. You've been ordered to up Grace Maria. Break away from this airspace and head west.
Are you out of your mind? We can't comply with that order.
We are militarily at a huge disadvantage. Comply with the order and head west.
This is over.
Listen, it's only time. The plan is to withdraw, meet up with all remaining forces from each area, then regroup for a counterattack. We can't afford to lose you. Follow the order.
This is Garuda 2 to Garuda 1. We really should get out of here.
Garuda team, you've made it out of the combat zone. Head for the rendezvous point.
I promise we'll be back for you. A little longer. I promise.
Stay alert.
Ghost Eye to Garuda 1, Talos.
Our military, but our capital and our central, the nation of in response, unanimously adopted a resolution. Once our intelligence has been sorted and confirmed, the Republic of Ameria's armed forces must immediately regroup and counterattack against the Federal Republic of Estovakia. The beautiful country of Ameria belongs to us, and only us, the Amerian people.
Fire and smoke rises from the city before me. The King's Bridge is gone. Oh no. No! Matilda! I hear a scream of terror that sounds much like my own voice from afar. I feel King's gentle smile is moving farther away from me. Every now and then, I tell my daughter the story of the night some years ago. A night when the sky was radiant with shooting stars. That night, your father and I made countless wishes together. An asteroid called Ulysses came into Earth's orbit and disintegrated into millions of pieces, which poured down on the land below. As we watched the shooting stars that night, fragments from the asteroid rained down on our eastern neighbor, Estovakia, damaging a great deal of their infrastructure and devastating their economy. After, turned into a civil war, one that would last for years. Eventually, the internal strife was brought to an end when the generals came into power. The citizens of Estovakia were convinced that the only way they could recover as a nation was to rely on a military government led by these generals. Before long, they went so far as to invade our nation, the Republic of Ameria. Our military was forced to retreat to Kesid, an island far to the west. A fighter pilot, though, hasn't come home since. I walk on. I am unable to think. All I can do is follow the others. Ever since we came to the twisted remains of my daughter's school bus, My soul has left me. I am... Some of our tanks are parked at the approach to the bridge.
There's a train still running on the other side of the river. She goes all the way out to the edge of the border. We've got to blast this bridge before the enemy gets a hold of it. So move it or lose it, people!
Here I see the wreckage of a jet that was shot down. On what's left of the nose, Melissa. Name. What a cruel twist of fate for me to see this. My pilot husband, who had left for work that day with the same loving look on his face as always. He had painted my name on his angel. I go into the crowd on the train and endure 2 weeks of pure hell before finally ending up at camp at the border. I don't know any of the names on the list. My compatriots, who have now become refugees, gather around a single radio to listen to the broadcast. Even though the station is broadcasting out of Grace Maria, occupying forces have taken complete control of the areas. The enemy must have completely overtaken our capital area.
And although newer parts of the city have suffered considerable damage, the castle and a significant section of the old quarter have escaped relatively unscathed.
The castle's okay.
However,
Thank God.
the announcer went on to say that our castle was robbed of countless antiquities that once were elaborately displayed in our castle. Stripped bare.
As the Estovakian military, it is our sworn duty to govern this crumbling nation and get it back on its feet, starting right here in Grace Maria. I found a group of street children in front of the central station here, where the area has literally been reduced to a slum. Step on up here, little girl. What do you have to say about all this?
Go dance with the eight.
My ears were not deceiving me. That voice belonged to my daughter, Matilda.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Wojciech of the Estovakian Air Force. I arrived on a train to Grace Maria. To my detriment, I sustained a leg injury in the early stages of the war, relegating me to ground duty. I am now working as an intelligence officer for the Air Force. The ceiling has collapsed in the central... From there, the city appears resigned to its fate beneath the Estovakian flag. What a pitiful sight. But at least there are no craters to mar the land. They are lucky in that sense.
Dance with the angels.
There goes my spare clothing. Not be so lucky with these humans. What a miserable city this must be, with their children in such a state. The fine works of art, once displayed in this castle, were completely gone before the occupation forces arrived. Even the ancient armor of the Golden King, the collective heart and soul of the city's people, along with the crown, have disappeared without a trace. I must relay this unfortunate information back to the generals in my country. They were quite fond of those antiquities.
A large-scale formation of Estovakian bombers is heading toward Vitose, a city here on the island of Kesid. The enemy's plotting to storm Campania Airport, where our military is stationed, to stamp us out and put an end to this thing. Enemy bombers are approaching Vitose from the north. Our advance team estimates they'll be above the city in about 15 minutes. Air units are to cooperate with our radar facilities and resume operations. An enemy takeover of Vitose would mean the ultimate destruction of our country Emeria and of our Emerian people. Intercept them at once.
Garuda 1, which plane should I select? How about my weaponry? Are we ready to fly with these planes?
Garuda team, time to take off.
Garuda 1, you are cleared for takeoff.
Those bombers have passed through the mountains and are still on course for Vitose.
They're here.
Head back to the base if you need supplies. You can land there at any time.
Takeoff complete. Good luck up there.
Garuda team, a formation of enemy bombers is on its way to Vitose. Take them out.
Fight a good fight, troops. You're our only hope.
This territory is all we've got left. Garuda team, it's in your hands. We've got to intercept those bombers. Stay within range of the radar facility. That should give you the upper hand in battle.
Garuda team, have you located the enemy bombers? Is Estovakia trying to raise our entire country? Look at all that smoke. They're under attack on the front line. Our air defense network won't last much longer.
Detected on radar. It looks like another formation.
Make sure the bomber. All planes head back to space once you're out of bombs. Initiate bombing sequence.
American Continental Forces have succumbed to the might of our army and rightly admitted defeat.
This is the enemy's propaganda broadcast.
More planes are showing up on radar. It's another bomber formation. Intercept.
Damn it! What a bunch of lies!
More enemy bombers incoming. There's quite a few this time.
How do you shake me off? Leave this to me. I'll smoke the rest of them.
Careful now. The enemy has you on radar.
Keep an eye on your 6 o'clock. Garuda 1, ESM is active.
I've been straight. Who the hell did that?
Enemy plane in gun range. Talisman is locked on. 4th enemy bomber confirmed down. Keep up the good work.
Nice kill! 5th enemy bombers are on its way down. This rate won't get them all. How many do we have left? Stay in formation.
Bombers are still incoming. Stay sharp. Fire! Fire!
6th enemy bomber is down. Was that the last of them? 080, distance 30, Slovakian aircraft. 3 of them!
Garuda 1, ESM is active.
At base number 7.
Bomber number 8 confirmed down.
9th bomber down.
All enemy bombers have been eliminated. We somehow plucked every last one of them.
Enemy bomber formation is confirmed down. I have to say you handled things well.
Whooping all that praise on us has got me a little too red in the face to go back home.
Roger that, Avalanche. I'll just report you as gunned down and missing in action.
That's pretty harsh, Ghost Eye.
It's time to get on home now. Try and make it back for supper.
The enemy bombers have been intercepted. Enemy aircraft. Our forces have taken advantage of this opportunity. We expect the best from you.
My daughter is alive somewhere in Grace Maria. It took me days to get here. Days of walking. But I know this road ends somewhere up ahead. There was no need to think about how to cross the river. Didn't that soldier on the tank say they were going to destroy this bridge before the enemy? I start to feel as if things never go as they are said to.
You've been ordered to start the mission now. The interception op was a success, and the Republic has taken full advantage of this prime opportunity to initiate a counterattack operation with all forces participating. Enemy forces have established a wide-scale defensive line around Sipley Field, consisting largely of tank battalions. Our ground forces are set up to cross the river and penetrate it, and eventually regain control of Kessid. Garuda Team, we need you to support our advancing ground units and eliminate all enemy forces. Multiple units will be simultaneously carrying out various operations on the ground. Pay attention to the airspace above each operation area and provide support as needed. This must be the first time you've ever participated in a mission of this scale. The battle simulator is a good way to get some practical experience under your belt. Godspeed.